Joe, I had sort of an Italian milestone last night.
Whoa.
An Italian coming of age, a rite of passage, if you will, and I've been excited to tell you about it.
Okay. Yeah.
Joe, I watched The Godfather for the first time last night.
For the first time?
For the first time, I had not seen The Godfather before last night.
I need your immediate thoughts right now.
Joe, it's the greatest movie I've ever seen.
Are you
And
just
like
saying that?
I'm not even doing a bit. Like that is I understand why people regard it as the greatest movie ever made.
Yep.
It's the best movie I've ever seen. It's
Yep.
now my favorite movie. It's fucking unbelievable.
It's
Unbelievable.
like it fucking gets better every fucking time I watch it.
The only other movie I've ever had such an incredible like viewing experience besides The Godfather was 2001: A Space Odyssey. In terms of just like sitting down and focusing on the story and the visuals, and that movie blew me away. But it wasn't like my favorite movie. The Godfather, I'm just Jesus Christ. It's the best movie I've ever seen, and it's not particularly close.
So, have you seen like a side question off that is, have you seen Goodfellas?
I still have not seen Goodfellas.
Okay, add that to the list because hot take, I like Goodfellas better than The Godfather. Which actually is a hot take because someone would be like, "What? The Godfather's like rated number 3 as the greatest film of all time."
I mean, Goodfellas is also up there. Like, and they're such similar movies. I mean, they are, right? I mean, I guess I'm assuming, but they're both, mafia movies.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm actually now I'm curious. I'm gonna look up what the best movies ever like that people think are. Let me look on Letterboxd.
I'm gonna put a Zin in while you're googling.
Sick, man. Can I do that? Highest rated movies ever.
I use Rotten Tomatoes.
All right, Rotten Tomatoes it is. 300 best movies of all time. Wow, Godfather's number 2. I don't know if you would guess what number 1 is on this particular list.
Citizen Kane?
I don't I could give you a ton of guesses. I don't think you would get it. I'm really surprised.
All right, give me like a hint. Just give me like a hint.
1997.
It's Titanic.
No.
What?
It's LA Confidential.
What?
Now, granted, I've not seen LA Confidential before, but
what?
So on Rotten Tomatoes, it's LA Confidential, The Godfather, Casablanca, Seven Samurai, and Parasite. Those are the 5 best movies rated on Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, interesting.
I'm gonna look at IMDb and see if it's the same or not.
I'm pretty good with years, but my only rule with that is like I need to have seen the movie to know the year. And I heard 97, just assumed it was Titanic.
I think the Titanic's 97. Okay, IMDb has Shawshank number 1.
Okay, never seen it.
The Godfather, The Dark Knight, The Godfather Part 2, and 12 Angry Men. That's IMDb's top 5.
Yeah, Godfather 2, fucking amazing. I need to rewatch A Dark Knight.
You also need to watch Shawshank Redemption. It's fucking incredible.
Yeah, I do. I know
that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
That's been on my list for like quite some fucking time.
What about can I do this on Letterboxd? Can I sort on Letterboxd? Like, hey, nope, it's taking me to the app. Fuck you, I'm not doing all this. Okay, anyway, hey everybody, welcome to the show.
What show is this?
This is Random Question. I'm Elex Caro. That's official Joey C. And we're celebrating today because we have finally made it to 10 episodes. This is episode number 10, our 10th and final episode. That's it. We're done.
Yeah,
we're
that's
packing
right.
it in after this. The show is over.
Yep.
It's been a long, twisty, curvy ride. No, I'm just kidding. The show is going to go on forever and ever and ever.
I'll quit
and
before
ever.
Then.
I'll kill myself before then. Oh boy. But Joe, we had an idea. We thought a fun way to celebrate the 10th episode would be to answer your questions. So we gathered questions from friends, family, fans, the likes, and we're going to kind of rapid fire through a bunch of random questions. Ones that I've seen that you have not, that you've seen that I have not, which, keeps with the theme of the show.
Yep.
and I'm talking way too much. So how about we just get into this?
Ask the questions. Load it up.
All right, let's see. I got a good list of questions from some friends and some family, and my camera is a little bit out of focus. Let's see. Oh, what's a good one to start with? Oh, I got the perfect one to start with. This one comes from our good buddy, your movie partner, Joseph Martin. Joe wants to know, what do you think happens to each of your characters at the end of Spectre and Spectres? Did Richard Alpert really die? What happens to Marty Treehorn after the movie ends? Now, you wrote the movie,
Yeah.
so maybe you have like,
I already
a
know.
real like headcanon. Yeah, yeah. So let the people know.
Richard Alpert did not die in Spectre and Spectres. It was all a big media trick to try to get rich. And they went on and created a show with Father Fernando where they, investigate hauntings in churches because Father Fernando is a priest, of course. And Richard Alpert was the ghost producer, and the show went on to be one of the biggest shows in America for 2 seasons until Joe's character and your character, unfortunately, got into a massive argument, professed their love to each other, realized it was fucking awkward, and then you two haven't spoken in years, and I've been on Cameo recording $10 cameos trying to get the show back, but unfortunately, I'm washed up. And who knows what happened to Father Fernando? He went back to, his home country and, worked in missions and, lived a quiet life in the church.
Yeah, really real reality TV, real down to earth. I mean, that's how a lot of reality TV shows seem to go. They peak for a couple seasons and then it gets real sad for everybody involved. So
Well, there's some allegations for Marty Treehorn that we have
whoa,
neither
whoa,
confirmed nor denied.
whoa, wait a minute. This is the first I'm hearing of him. Hang on a fucking second. Was Marty Treehorn at a Diddy party? What the fuck's
No,
going
he wasn't
on?
at a Diddy party. He just,
Oh
you
man.
know, liked to
Oh
party a
man.
little too much.
So that was, I had kind of the same interpretation. I definitely thought Richard did not actually die. I did believe it was a publicity stunt for the sake of the show. Um Marty, I in my head I like to think that the show was successful for a little while, but then he kind of like had like a kind of come to Jesus moment where he realized like, no, I'm like lying to millions of people. This is not like, I like to imagine that eventually he quits the show and maybe goes on like a press tour that's like, no, we made it all up. I'm coming clean. Like maybe he writes a memoir, like that kind of thing. You know what I mean? And then like maybe I'm kind of ousted by the ghost hunting community, but that's okay because at the end of the day I did the right thing.
It was like an expose and like why did he really leave the show sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. I got out ahead of it before somebody else could,
Oh,
like
right.
I
I
just,
got you. I see. I know how that
uh
goes.
like I picture like me like leaning against like, an old chandelier, like or like an old fireplace in one of the houses we had a big episode in. It's just like Marty Treehorn coming clean about Spectre and Spectres. The truth about, I can't think of a good enough ghost wordplay right now, but
Like a 60-minute like expose sort of thing.
yeah, yep. I'm just sitting across. It's like that real dramatic lighting. Like I'm just here to tell the truth.
You're
Yeah,
wearing like
that
a
was my
square,
headcanon for.
like a
Yeah, oh yeah,
like a
yeah, of course.
turtleneck.
Yeah, that was my headcanon for Marty Treehorn, but
Who knows what happened to Donnie DeFino, man? I really don't know. He was kind of a sketchy character to begin with. I felt like he kind of just followed me around. Um, and in my head, like it was always like he was kind of in love with my character. And then I got all rich and famous because I was the ghost producer of the news show with Father Fernando, and then he kind of moved on to you. And then you guys had a big falling out. And then obviously you guys don't talk now.
Donnie DeFino, I imagine, like, you know, our show goes to shit. You maybe retire. I go the like, I'm telling the truth route, and then he just like he plants his flag even harder. He starts his own show. He starts like,
Yo.
he's like the host of like the Ghost Network. You know what I mean? Like he just
The
leans
Ghost
really
Network.
hard into it. Like, you know what I mean? Like he never gives it up.
He starts his own streaming service.
Yeah, you know, like really cringy TikTok channel. Like, yeah, like he leans really hard into it.
I will say me and Joe did draft up a sequel.
Mm.
And we were this close to starting it. But we moved on to other projects. But it may come in the future. Who knows? Spectre and Spectres 2. Uh
Too Spectre, too furious. If we ever get a Spectre and Spectres 2, count me in. I'm absolutely in.
Fuck yeah. You are always considered.
It would almost be funnier if I get recasted. Like, yeah, Marty,
Well,
you
I think
know,
the
we went in
original
separate
idea
ways, and
was
then
we had to film like 2 or 3 scenes and then like you left the show for some reason. I can't remember exactly what it was, and then we filmed it without you. Um
because Marty got up and moved to Chicago.
See, that would have been smart. That would have just been fucking smart if we did it that way.
I Marty Treehorn starts he starts hosting those like ghost tours downtown where they take you around like the haunted
Yeah,
places. Like, oh,
yeah.
this one you could see a ghost up in the window. Ooh.
I went on one of those when I was in Salem, and like the tour guide had like a little microphone with like a little amp on its on his side.
Yep.
That shit was so fucking fun though. Oh my god. It was like, and here we have the Floyd residence, and upstairs there was 46 murders and 26 hauntings. And we're like, wow. And it's just like a shed in the backyard. Yeah. But the lady who did the tour was kind of hot. So it was cool. It was it was really cool. Yeah. Yeah, it was really, really cool, man. It was really cool.
Thank you for the question, Apple Joe. Joe, you got another question for us?
I do. How do you and how often all right, how often do you get negative comments and how do you handle it?
And who's that question from?
That I didn't know we were supposed to write down the the names.
So wow, you collected a bunch of
I no,
questions,
I
but
have these
you're not
ones,
gonna give anyone the
but
credit.
the ones on my
Wow.
phone when it finally turns on, uh,
Wow.
it will be it will be
Unreal.
that is from official Joey C. So official Joey C wants to know how often do you get negative comments and how do you handle it?
I very rarely get negative comments. I have a much smaller channel than you, and I don't know. I don't get them very often. I've only ever gotten a few. I don't even remember them. Like I remember deleting a couple because they weren't even like they were just like I don't even think they were about me or the video. It was just that classic like YouTube hate kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And so I was like, well, I'm not, I'm gonna take this down. The funniest one I've ever gotten that I left up was it's on the video that I did with Preston and Brian called Cousin Ricky. And somebody commented on it and just said, well, I guess comedy is subjective.
That's a great comment.
I thought it was fucking great. I left that up. I thought it was good.
Now,
So
I remember you got one, and I don't want to harp on this question for too long because we have a lot to go through. But I can't remember exactly what it was, but I remember you got a crazy one, and you sent a screenshot in our group chat, and you were like, "What the fuck is this comment, dude?"
yeah, I wouldn't even call that like a hate comment, and I'm not gonna repeat it. It was a incredibly racist comment, and it wasn't even like about or at me, obviously, but it was a really racist comment. So like, I guess that's a hate comment, but it's not at me. You know what I mean? So like, whatever. But yeah, I took that one down fast as shit. Yeah, that was
Yeah, I would only delete one if it was like that. I get hate comments all the fucking time, especially on my bigger videos, like the restaurant examination ones. But most of the time, I just giggle. And I think the one that I always get is like in some of my videos, my intro is "Ladies and gentlemen, non-binary, gender fluid, and everybody else in between." And I get a ton of comments about like, "You're a fucking woke asshole" or something. And I think I did reply to one of them recently where I was like, "Yeah, I have friends who are trans, and shocker, I'm not an asshole," or something like that. I can't remember exactly what I said, but I did respond to like one of them like that, which I don't know why I did. I was just feeling kind of spicy on that one.
I mean, shit, dude. That was the other thing. Like, I usually would just take them down, then engage with them.
Yeah, I never ever engage with them.
Mostly just because, like, I don't want to encourage like more of it, or like I don't want people to find my video and then it's kind of like they think that that's what like the environment on my channel might be like.
Right, right, right.
Um, the last thing I'll say about this is I did a video about Elon Musk maybe a year and a half ago, and I had to delete probably a dozen comments because
No
people were
way,
going
really?
crazy. Oh my god, dude! Like Elon Musk fans were just going crazy in my comments and like using some language that I didn't want on my channel and things like that. So
Wow,
yeah,
that's kind of crazy, actually. I'm kind of surprised at that.
I mean, Elon Musk, right? Oh Lord, hang on, Joe, vamp for a second.
Okay, I'm gonna ask my next question while you're gone. MV Peter wants to know: do I ever wear wigs? And to you, I would say yes. Yes, I do. Alex, insert the screenshot of me doing Mrs. Doubtfire on Hack the Movies where I wore a wig because I was disguised as a woman in that episode. And if you haven't watched that episode of Hack the Movies, certainly do. There's a stranger in the screen. Our video has been hijacked by a woman. She's looking
What?
at me. I don't know what's happening. I've never.
You don't know what I am.
I think I guess you're right. I don't.
In this day of age, Joe,
Well-
how dare you?
Well, I was just checking.
How dare you?
I don't have a response to this. Please don't cancel me. I'm just making a career now.
Okay, I won't.
Okay, thank you for not canceling.
Hi, Joe. Bye, Joe.
Hello.
Say hi to my kitties.
Oh, okay. Goodbye, and have fun with the
Goodbye.
cats.
Oh, I
Okay.
will.
I hope that's fake fur.
Actually, I'll just give those to you.
Hi. Hi.
Hello.
Are you
All
gonna
right, take your shoes off and hurry up because you're gonna ask your question.
Oh, what?
Yep, she has a question.
She has a couple of questions,
Oh,
and she's going to
God.
ask him live and in person. Special
Alex.
guest Katelyn.
So you missed my question. MV Peter wants to know: have you ever worn a wig?
Have I ever worn a wig? Not that I remember.
That's lame. That's very
Yeah,
lame.
I got my own shit going on, man.
I get my own shit What the fuck does that mean?
What do I need a wig for? I got a whole head of
What does
hair,
that
man. What do I need a wig for?
God damn it. Alex, pause the recording for 1 second. My phone still is not on. Can you believe that shit? It has been almost 20 minutes, dude.
Joe, we got a question on Twitter from devil_loner.
Devil.
Do you know who that
I
is?
know Devil. Yeah, he's been a viewer of mine for a long time.
Oh, hi, Devil. I don't really know who this person is.
Hey, Devil.
They? Do we know?
I don't know. Just say they.
All right. They want to know, would you rather have super speed or the ability to read minds?
You know, if I was smart, I'd say read minds because I could fucking do anything I want. Motherfucker, I want to go fast. What do you mean? Do you know how many kickflips I can do at supersonic speed? Are you fucking serious, man? That sounds fucking awesome.
I'd rather read minds. I think it'd be cooler to be able to just know what people are thinking all the time. Have that to my advantage. It would make some social interactions quite a bit easier.
Nah, just thinking of like times with my ex-girlfriend, I would not want to read that mind.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I love you. I read her mind. I hate you, bitch.
Love you too, honey.
What do you mean? What do you mean you hate me? What did I do?
Or like when you're like at the dinner table and your dad does the thing where he's so upset he just goes silent and you're like, fuck, I know I'm in for it, and you just try to read your dad's mind and it's just like, it's not even noise, it just sounds like a train whistle. Oh fuck.
Why are dads like that?
Dads are scary, man. Dads are, I mean, dads are scary.
You've never met my dad, right?
No, I've met your dad.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh, he's an interesting character, isn't he?
You've met my dad, right?
Oh boy, have I.
Yeah. Our dads should meet.
Our dad, it'd be like the They're like too much dad power in one area. They just talk about like thermostats and like mowing the
just
lawn and
creates a
shit.
black hole. Oh shit, man. Joe, phone still dead?
Yep.
Great. That's fine. I'll ask another question. Cool. I'll fucking do the heavy lifting. Why not? Devil Loner asked another question. He said, "What famous person, living or dead, would you want to have a conversation with?"
Oh, dude, that's so fucking easy. Are you serious? Chris Farley. Absolutely Chris Farley.
Oh, well, that's nice and all. He said living or dead. I was gonna say official Joey C is who I'd want to have a conversation with, but that's fine. No, it's cool. Chris Farley. That's a good answer. No, that's fine. I get it. Yeah, he was cool.
Yeah, what would you ask
Uh,
official Joey C if he was here?
I would say Devil Owner asked us a question and they want to know. Living or dead? I think living, I'd want to speak to LeBron James. Dead, I'd want to speak to Kurt Cobain.
Interesting. Yeah, you're a grunge guy. You are a grunge guy. So that makes sense. I never got into Nirvana much. Yeah, it would definitely be Chris Farley. If I had to be more emotional, it would be like my grandfather, like when he was
Oh,
like
yeah.
young and
Nah.
with no Alzheimer's, you know?
Yeah, I think it would also be really fun to speak to your like great 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 grandfather. Like you never knew him, they never knew you. You just be like, "Hey, how's it going?"
I just shat in the street and I laid on a pile of hay to sleep. How does it look?
I'm dying of cholera. Leave me alone.
I survived the Black Plague.
What do you think the hardest thing that our ancestors went through was? Like if you go back far enough, what do you think is like the craziest thing that one of our ancestors had to endure?
Well, I mean, disease is obviously the answer for me. Um, I don't know, like disease and like war.
I was thinking the Great Depression, but I was also thinking like way before that, like the 1600s, like the Black Plague or some shit.
Yeah, the Great Depression is interesting because like growing up, I ate a lot of like Great Depression food because my dad was raised by like his aunt and uncles who actually lived through the Great Depression
Mhm.
and like their parents too. So like chipped beef on toast, fried bologna sandwiches, like
Corned beef
spam,
hash,
corned beef hash, yeah, shit like that.
sloppy joes.
Yes, a lot of sloppy joes. They called them untidy Sams in my household because my mother did not want me to think that I was sloppy. Not sure why you're laughing, Alex. Very sweet.
Messy Phillips. It's just like a regional thing. They all got slightly different. Cluttery Johns. Like, okay, I guess.
Cluttery Johns.
Slippery Steve. Like, all right, you know.
Ew, that one.
It's all fucking. It's all beef on bread and like whatever.
Chip beef on toast, though, that fucking rocks.
Oh, it's gross.
Dude, get the fuck out of here, man.
Gross.
That
Ugh,
shit
hate it.
rocks. You ever have Spam?
I love Spam.
Dude, Spam fucking rocks.
Dude, Spam on like a breakfast sandwich, like instead of bacon, you do Spam.
Well, I wouldn't pick it over the bacon, of course. I had bacon this morning.
No, not over bacon, but just like if you don't have bacon and you go like a Spam and egg and cheese.
I always have bacon, Alex. I had bacon this morning. I'm gonna have bacon tomorrow.
I had bacon this morning too.
What did you have for breakfast?
I had peanut butter waffles and a banana for breakfast.
Peanut
But
butter
then-
waffles?
Yeah, like I just made like toaster waffles and put peanut butter on them with a banana. And then when I went to work and it was like lunch, I made a breakfast burrito at lunch.
You made it at lunch?
Yeah, so I guess it was technically a lunch burrito.
Like-
but like, you know. Whatever, fuck you. I'm not on trial here. You want the truth? You can't handle the truth.
I'm just
Way
saying what you
defensive.
said, dude.
Just so defensive for no reason.
Listen, as we know, I'm very I'm very passionate about food. Speaking of devil_loner, he wants to know, Joey C, did you buy a new wallet yet?
No.
No.
Moving on.
No, I did not. Somebody sent me 2 wallets. I do have 2 wallets, though. I haven't switched over yet. Did you buy a wallet recently, Alex?
I bought the most recent time I bought a wallet was around the time I moved out here. So about 2.5 years ago, because I lost my wallet moving out here,
Mm.
which was like really bad news because it had like a bunch of cash and like my social security card and like a bunch of important shit because I was moving that like normally would not be in my wallet. But I was like, oh, I'm moving. Let me just throw it in my wallet. So I like, like extra like weird cards and stuff. And like, yeah.
You see, you
So that
fucked
wasn't
up.
fun.
You fucked up.
Yeah. I mean, as far as I know, nobody's stolen my identity yet. So as far as I know, my wallet is like on the side of the highway somewhere in Indiana. That's my best guess right now. That's my best guess.
This one comes from AK_POFE. AK
Yeah,
professional.
Akpof. Akpof.
What is the best piece of career advice you've ever received?
Shit.
I got
I
it.
don't know. Stop what you're doing and go clean that up. I don't know. I don't know. Nothing comes to mind quickly. I don't know. What about you?
Probably two. One, my dad always said, like, well, if you're at a straight street and you're waiting to drive until every street light turns green, you'll never fucking move. And that always stuck with me. And the other one is also from my dad, and this is fucking gonna make no sense, but it finally makes sense to me. If you knew what to do, what would you do? And I'm like, when he used to tell me that as a kid, I'd be like, "What the fuck are you saying?" So if you knew what to do, what would you do? And I've always that's always playing in my head. I'm like, well, if I knew what to do, I would do this, this, and that, and that's the stuff I do.
Interesting. Okay, I gotta let that one marinate a little bit. That's interesting. Yeah, that is gonna do the same thing. Like your dad told you that as a kid, and it's hitting you now. You're telling me this now. It's gonna hit me when I'm 45. Be like, Joe's dad. Oh fuck.
It finally makes sense to me.
Joe, we're leaning back. We're getting real comfy.
Oh god.
Um, friend of the show, Cameron Cook, a regular, a staple on my channel, wants to know who is more annoying, LeBron James fans or Taylor Swift fans. Now I know you're not a big sports guy, but maybe that world has penetrated a little bit. Maybe you have seen some stuff.
I would absolutely, by far, 100% say fucking LeBron James fans, those sporties, bunch of fucking straight guys
I
going
was gonna
crazy.
say there's something about sports fans when they get really like diehard and like really argumentative and stuff. It's the most fucking obnoxious thing in the world.
Yeah, I like music, yeah, like Taylor Swift fans, like, yeah, I can see how that's annoying, but like, I don't know, I feel like music is different. Like, music, like, has like power to it. You know, it could bring people together, it could fucking save your life, it could get you out of a fucking trance. I assume sports could probably do the same thing, but like to me, as a guy who doesn't like fucking, I don't watch any sports ever. Is like, oh yeah, I'm watching these guys run up and down a fucking uh, a, a field for 3 hours. Like, yeah, oh yeah. Oh, I'm so mad that guy that makes $49 million a year didn't run past the line and he didn't bring the ball to the other ball. And it's like, yeah, big fucking whoop. I don't give a shit, man.
I absolutely understand from like an outsider's perspective how sports fans are just the fucking worst. I absolutely get that because as a sports fan, they can be the fucking worst. And I think people get like it's too easy to dunk on like Taylor Swift and her fans. You know what I mean? But I also think there's like a difference. Like if you're under a certain age and you're super obsessed with Taylor Swift, like yeah, that's what teenage girls do. To me, it's the 40-year-old women that act like they're 11. It's like get a grip. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of yeah. So like it's more about the individual than anything else. I think.
That's a good question. I like that. You know, Cameron gets a good gold star for that one.
Cameron knows what's up. Cameron's been around a while. He's been around the block.
This one comes from _DSE Future. Would you rather golf once a week for the rest of your life or every single day, but you get paid to do it? Every day, no days off.
I would do it every day and get paid for it. Are you out of your mind?
You want to work 7 days a week?
Do I want to golf 7 days a week instead of work? Yes. I guess the question is, how much am I getting paid? Am I getting paid like $1 an hour?
I,
Then no, of
I would
course
say
not.
like moderately.
So am I making the same amount of money that I'm making right now?
I would say you're making like you're
Give
making,
me an annual salary.
I don't know, $50,000 a year.
Yeah, easy. Are you out of your mind?
I would.
I gotta go. Oh no, I gotta go walk. I gotta walk around the woods for 4 hours and make
Every day?
a very livable salary.
You
Yes,
want to play 18 holes of golf every fucking day.
for 50 grand.
Dude, that
Joe, are you out of your fucking
no
mind?
fucking way, dude.
Dude, are you shitting me? Well, okay, because here's the thing. Golf is like, it's if you for me, if I walk, which I prefer to, I walk 18 holes. It takes me like somewhere between 3 and 4 hours. Depends on like how busy the course is. If I take a cart, now we're down to like closer to 2 to 3 hours, right? So let's say I take a cart instead of walk. That's call it 3 hours a day. Plus commute, let's call it 4 hours. I'm working for 4 hours a day, making 28 hours a week for 50 grand.
See, when you put it that way, yeah, I guess that's true. But like, listen, I like to stop on the turn, eat a couple, 2, 3 hot dogs, order chicken fingers, eat lunch, go back, play the
You're
other back
making
nine.
50K. You can afford the hot
That's
dogs.
terrible. That's a terrible wage, man.
Man, 50 grand. Damn. All right, we're on very different fucking islands right now. 50 grand sounds fucking great to me right now. Are you out of
I
your
work
mind?
for a fucking golf company, man. That's enough for me.
Yeah, shit. Whatever. Is this a job offer? Like, is he actually offering us this job?
I guess so. That's what it seems to me.
Is this like an interview? I can start tomorrow.
You gotta break 80 though.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, go fuck
Yeah,
yourself.
you don't get paid until you break 80.
Listen,
Fuck.
I'm glad that I'm the only one in the golf group that we got that has broken 80.
Hell yeah.
Boom, baby.
I've never broken 80, but I've been in the 80s a handful of times.
That's pretty
so
good. That's pretty good.
I think my lowest round ever is an 83.
I think I tied my lowest. I think it was 79. And I tied
Damn.
that twice.
Fuck yeah.
And which is wild because like you've seen me golf. I don't play that good that often. I don't know what the fuck I was on. I was playing a course that me and you have played a handful of times together, and I was just fucking on one that day, dude. It was
That's
like
so
every shot came together. It was fucking crazy.
Preston, friend of the show, Preston wants to know what is the hardest you've ever been flexed on?
I flexed on.
Like somebody like a status thing, a money thing, like, you know, has anybody ever flaunted their wealth at you?
I don't know if I want to tell this on the podcast.
Sure you do. Why not? Sure. Yeah, why not?
Long story short, I went on a date with this girl who wanted to go to another city nearby. And I can't remember the exact details, but she basically said, I don't want to drive in the snow because what's a G-Wagon? What's that car? Mercedes? It's like a Mercedes truck.
Yeah.
She was like, my G-Wagon just got new tires and I don't want to ruin them. Can you drive? And I drive
No shit.
I drive like a fucking 10-year-old car. And like I was like, you have a fucking I didn't say this to her. And I didn't end up going on the date, for the record. You have a G-Wagon and you're asking me to drive. Go fuck yourself, dude.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I was beside myself, dude.
For me, Katelyn has a friend who lives and works in Manhattan. So she has like a corporate job in New York City and makes a fuck ton of money. And she took us out to brunch one time and we tried to be polite, be like, well, we got it, or we'll split it or whatever. And she was genuinely being very nice and very generous, but just like the way she said it came across a certain way. She was like, guys, I make more money than I know what to do with, and like insisted on picking up the check. And we were like,
God.
okay, like she was being very thoughtful and generous, but it just came across a certain way. She's like, I fucking got it. We're like, whoa, all right, shit. And that was a moment where I just kind of had to like put my wallet back in my pocket and like, okay, sorry.
One
You know what I
time
mean? Like it was just like,
that reminds me of a fucking story. I was in I can't actually I don't want to dox myself. So I was in this restaurant with a bunch of friends. And you've met them a few times. And there was probably like 4 or 5 of us, and I was unemployed at this time. And the bill came over, and I was like, "Oh, I'll take it," because I was like being nice, doing the thing that you do. And the other guy was like, "Oh, no, 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 we got it." And his wife was like, "No, no, no, let him pay for it. He offered." And I was like, good. Meanwhile, I have like $2 in my checking account because I'm unemployed. I had to fucking pay the bill.
goddamn,
Like,
taking a
fuck.
small business loan out on a fucking check. Taking out a PPP loan for a fucking Applebee's dinner.
It's fucking terrible.
Goddamn.
So this one I don't have a username for. Do you use AI for any of your creative stuff?
No. Fuck no.
Fuck
No. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Not a
Fuck
fucking
you.
chance. Not a fucking chance. I will fucking
No.
fight
Get
that
the fuck
forever.
out.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was aggressive. I'm not upset with that person unless you use AI, because fuck you then. No, I quit an editing job because they wanted me to use AI and shit.
Yeah,
I told
we
them to
worked for the
blow me.
same
Get the
company.
fuck out.
Yeah. Fuck that
Yeah, like
company.
well, yeah, what company was that? Huh? Maybe we should not. They've got a bad track record right now, so maybe we should just kind of keep this shit to ourselves.
Well,
But
probably because every person that talks about him on the internet gets a cease and desist letter in the mail.
yeah.
So let's
no.
not fucking
But
join that.
no, AI is fucking stupid. It's ridiculous. I hate it. It's bad for the environment. It's bad for artists. It's bad for everybody and everything. Fuck
Literally
you.
everybody. Yeah.
That
Fuck
question just
AI.
upset me.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah. Fucking AI.
Give me another question. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck shit.
I have another one. Do you have one queued up or?
Yeah, you go ahead and I'll do the next one.
This one says, and I don't know if this is going to apply to you necessarily right now. What is the biggest misconception about working in entertainment? Which is a really good question.
Yeah. You know what I'll say is, I think the closer you are to the industry, the better like understanding you have of this. I think a lot of people think that like the face of a project is who is doing the bulk of the work, and that couldn't be, in most cases, furthest from the truth. Right? They look at like somebody like, like the news is a good example, right? And you kind of think like, oh, the news anchor is the one that they're on TV and they're doing, and like you kind of forget that there's so many people behind the scenes doing the majority of the work. You know what I mean? Or like any sort of TV show, any radio show, podcasts, even, like things like that, where it's like, oh, the person talking or the person whose name is on the title is the one doing the legwork. And in reality, they're being held up by so many other hardworking, talented people.
Yeah, I think I definitely agree with that. The other thing I'll say is like, dude, I've edited for fucking massive entertainment companies like Paramount, for instance. And if there's one thing that I've learned is the type of people that you meet in these fucking companies that are like your bosses is pretty much the same bullshit that you come across whether you work at fucking Best Buy or Target or fucking a restaurant. It's the same fucking bullshit. Like, I can't really give you like a specific example, but I think people will understand what I mean by that. Like the same bullshit you come across with like a boss in retail is like the same bullshit you come across with like a boss who makes $10 million a year, like dictating what kind of content. And the other misconception is the fucking higher ups most of the time are so fucking out of touch and have no fucking clue what works. They just want to appease like the fucking shareholders.
And I think like a similar offshoot to that idea is like, I think a lot of people think that it's, if you work in entertainment or some sort of creative space, that the goal all of the time for everybody involved is just like creative freedom, creative outlet, right? The creative part of it all. And in reality, it's a few fucking dickhead decision makers at the top. and it's all about pushing the right buttons to make money.
Yeah, exactly.
Oftentimes, the actual, like, creative process gets crushed pretty
Yep,
aggressively.
absolutely. Like, you're the bottom level people who are actually doing the fucking work
Mhm.
and creating the videos. A lot of times they'll have great fucking ideas and they will get shut down on every fucking level because the higher ups are like too afraid of like being actually creative.
Well, let's
Relying,
focus on SEO, team.
yeah, literally, it's fucking
Let's make sure we're
bullshit.
making our thumbnails the best possible for trafficking. Shut the fuck up, dude. This video sucks. I'm doing a 7-minute video ranking the 10 best Avengers from 2012 to now. Suck my dick. Like, sorry, never mind. Redacted. Don't sue me. Jesus
I
fucking
want to say
Christ.
their name so bad because they can fuck right off. Worst fucking company on the fucking
I'm
planet.
getting heated. Gotta
Yeah.
simmer down, man. This one comes from friend of the show, Maureen, co-host of the Beanies and Weenies podcast, along with our good buddy Brian Taborni. Maureen wants to know, what conspiracy theory do you most believe in?
Ooh, a lot of them. What do I most believe in?
Like what's the one that you would like really go to bat
Well,
for?
the recent one is I've been down the Scientology rabbit hole. That's been fucking great. I have
Mm.
been on this fucking rabbit hole for months now. And the reason being is because one of the biggest skateboarding channels in the world, Braille Skateboarding, Aaron Cairo, the guy who started it, he is the leader of Scientology in San Francisco. Like, he runs the San Francisco organization, which is crazy. And come to find out, there are a ton of pro skaters who are Scientologists. Jason Dill, Eric Costin, Steve Barra, Aaron Cairo. So that led me down the fucking rabbit hole. And like, dude, let me give you like a quick example. The wife of the leader of Scientology right now, David Miscavige, his wife has not been seen publicly since 2006. Nobody knows where she is. She's never been seen. The last time she was seen was at Tom Cruise's wedding in 2006, who Tom Cruise is also a huge Scientologist, one of the biggest. Yep. And people are like, oh my God, is she dead? Is she being hidden? Scientology has a numerous fucking accusations of like holding people in prisons underground. Um, and on top of that, the other big conspiracy theory is that the LAPD is in the pockets of Scientology because Scientology is the biggest real estate owner, or like in the top 3 in the city of LA.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, that I didn't know.
Yeah.
No shit.
Crazy. Yeah.
I had this video idea a while back. Katelyn and I were doing something in the city, and this guy handed us Scientology pamphlets.
No way.
And I thought it was usually like anybody handing shit out on the street, I just ignore them. But we were at this, like, I think it was like a food festival or something. And so, like, they were handing out a bunch of just like donation charity kind of stuff. So, like, I was just taking whatever, even if I just threw it out later. Like, I didn't want to be rude to anybody. So I took it, and it's Scientology. And I started like, I was laughing my ass off. I was no more than 5 feet away from the guy, and I was like crying laughing. But I had this video idea where I wanted to. So basically, what it was uh I couldn't possibly explain it well enough, but the way that they like track your emotions or whatever to see if you're good for
Oh yeah,
Scientology, that like whole thing.
they do a
So
free personality test.
yeah, it was a personality test. Thank you. It was like a pamphlet, and it was a 100 question pamphlet that were like these super vague questions about like your personality and your mental health and things like that. And then you were supposed to send that in, and then they would respond to you later about like, are you good for Scientology? Which the answer was always going to be yes. They want your money. Um, but I had this idea where, because I had 2 pamphlets, I was curious to see if I filled them both out completely opposite from each other, if I would get any sort of different answer in return. And I was gonna make the whole video like about Scientology and explain the history of it and all that kind of stuff. And then it kind of hit me. I was like, maybe I don't want to
Yeah,
fuck
you
with
don't
these
want to fuck with
people.
because they will fucking retaliate, dude.
Yeah, dude. And I was like, I'm just a guy. Like, I don't really want to fuck with Scientology. So I kept that one in the back pocket.
So there is, not to dox us, but there is a church of Scientology near us.
Is there really?
Yeah, like 2 hours north. And
Oh. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, that's pretty close. And me and Joe were like, dude, we should, because me and Apple Joe have been down the rabbit hole for months now, and we were like, dude, we should go. And then I was thinking about it, the same thing. I was like, dude, we could go get a free personality test. And then we were like, nah, we better not fuck with that. Like, just to see why, like, just to get in there. But yeah, dude, that's my fucking answer. It's fucking wild.
Scientology is a really fun rabbit hole to go down. For me, I'll keep this one short because, again, I know you're not a sports guy. I don't know how familiar you are with Michael Jordan and his career. The long and the short of it is that Michael Jordan played for a handful of years and he won his first 3 championships. And then he just abruptly retired. He went away for about a season and a half, and went and tried playing baseball, and it like didn't work out. And then he came back to the NBA and finished out the rest of his career. And for a long time, it was always this story of like, yeah, like his excuse is always like, I don't have the same like level of passion anymore. I need a break from basketball. I need to pursue this other passion. And then he came back, won a bunch more championships, played the rest of his career and retired. The conspiracy theory is that he got suspended for gambling, but the league did not want to put that harsh of a suspension on its most popular player. And so instead they did this workaround where he like, oh, I'm going to retire. And then he comes back at the end of the suspension.
That's like a year and a half suspension? That's like crazy though.
Yeah. So again, there's a lot of nuance and details to this. Jordan is a notorious gambler. Like any person that knew him at all knew he was a really bad gambler, like lost millions and millions and millions of dollars on cards, on golf, like super bad gambler. He retired maybe a few weeks or months after his dad was shot and killed.
Whoa.
And there's like, people think there's connection to like his gambling debts that they went and killed his father.
Oh my God.
And then there's some stuff. Basically, the reason he would have been suspended is because the conspiracies that he was gambling on NBA games and specifically games that he was playing in, which is like the biggest sports no-no there is.
Holy shit.
So yeah, that's the conspiracy, is that instead of actually just retiring and, you know, the whole story is that he actually got suspended and that was the cover up to make it not look so bad. And I full-heartedly believe it.
I was going to say, like, you like fully subscribe to that. Like, you think that's absolutely true.
Yeah, because his dad got killed. He had been a notorious gambler before, during, and since. His dad gets killed and he uses baseball as the excuse, like, oh, like I loved baseball. I loved it before I loved basketball, and it's what my dad wanted me to pursue. And then he goes and he plays baseball. He's terrible at baseball. It doesn't work out at all. And then he comes back to the NBA so quickly. Like in the grand scheme of things, right? You retire from one sport, you go to pursue another, but you only try for like one season, really. And then you're just like, never mind, I'm going to go back to basketball.
So,
it was like a really weird pivot.
Yeah, so
like
there's definitely something going on there. Here's a dumb question. Is he still alive?
Yes, Michael Jordan's still alive. Yeah. But yeah, notorious gambler, dude. Like he had a friend that says only to that friend he lost millions of dollars playing golf. And that was to a single person. So like he might have been fucking around. He was at casinos like the nights before games. Like they had a playoff series in New Jersey and he was going to Atlantic City and gambling all night and then showing up and playing the game. Like that kind of thing. So yeah, I believe it.
Wow, yeah, I fucking believe it too. That's going to be the next rabbit hole I go down.
Dude, you have to. It's a lot of fun.
Wow. Let us know in the comments below what you think happened to Michael Jordan.
Sound off in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Joe, you got another question?
I don't. Well, I do, but my phone my phone doesn't turn on. Alex, see, my phone died about an hour ago, and I have it plugged in, and it's still
that's not good, dude.
It still hasn't turned on, so I'm a bit concerned about that.
Yeah, that's not good. I'll keep the show afloat for another moment.
Okay.
Katelyn, are you busy? Come here.
Yes.
Would you like to ask one of the questions you had for us live on the pod?
Okay.
All right, come on. Everybody say hi, Katelyn.
Hi, Katelyn.
Yeah, I was thinking it was kind of like a Dora thing there for a moment. Can you say bienvenidos?
Bienvenidos.
You got a question for us?
Okay. Live. Here it is. Who do you believe to be the singer with the best vocals of all time? So dead or alive.
The best singer of all time.
Yeah. So not like, oh, like I love this person so much. Like the best vocals, the best range.
I got 3 answers already, Alex.
Yeah, let's hear it.
The look like get out of here. Three answers: Michael Jackson, Freddie Mercury, and Villavallo.
And who?
And Villavallo, the lead singer of Him, the guy behind me on that poster.
Got it.
In terms of range, insane, those 3.
So I'm not familiar with him really, so I'm just gonna take your word for it. Freddie Mercury, I'm not a fan of Queen, but he has such a fucking incredible voice. Like his voice is undeniable. Even if I don't care for the band, his voice is unreal. Michael Jackson, overrated. He's got some great fucking tunes and he can sing and dance, but like if I was gonna rate like the best singers ever, I just don't put him up there.
Okay, that's fair.
Or not that high anyway, right? You know what I mean? Like he's up there, but you know. For me, Freddie Mercury's up there. Lane Staley is up there, the lead singer for Alice in Chains, and the power. I know it's cool. You don't like him. That's fine. The power in his voice is fucking unreal. Like it's. I watched a video about it recently where it's like the certain types of notes that he could hit are damn near impossible to hit, and then the length that he could hit them at is even more unheard of. Like he's just the power in his voice was insane. I'm trying to think of who else is up there. Or like who has a really unique singing voice, you know what I mean? Like who's somebody that is maybe a great singer but like an unconventional singer, like somebody that's like, oh, they're very different or unique.
Marilyn Manson.
No, try again.
I would say Ozzy, because Ozzy doesn't. He's not.
Yeah, Ozzy's up there.
He's not like classically trained or anything, and he doesn't do like for instance, like high notes. You want to like oval your mouth to hit the notes. Like Ozzy just like is just full blown heavy metal. Just such a unique fucking voice. Ronnie James Dio is another one. Brian Johnson of AC/DC for sure.
Yeah, he's different and unique, but I don't know if he's like that. I wouldn't put him up there like on a list like that, you know? Like it's different.
Well, I wouldn't put him on the list. At like not even fucking close.
You know who I think is up there in terms of like more like traditional like pop stuff? And again, not necessarily a fan of her music, but like her just her singing talent is Ariana Grande. Like some of the range. Some of the range she has, and then like something I'm always impressed with singing is if you can do like singing impressions. You know what I mean? Like if you can do a really passable impression of a great singer, that kind of means you're a great singer. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. I definitely understand what you mean by that.
So she's definitely up there in terms of like at least that for that genre, right? So yeah, there's a couple names for you.
That's a pretty good question. I dig that, man. That's nice. That's nice.
Katelyn had a couple other questions that I had written down. If you were an animal, would you rather be an ocean animal or a land animal?
I would rather be an ocean animal. I want to explore the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, so you'd be like a deep sea, one of those weirdo guys. Okay, interesting.
Weirdo guys, come on.
I've always thought the coolest animal to be would be like one of the apex land predators. So I'd rather be like a tiger or something.
Well, that's
you know
fair.
What I mean?
Or like a bald eagle so I could fly.
Can I cheat on this answer and say something like that's both? Can I be like a crocodile? Can I be like a turtle?
I guess like I get turtle. Let's slow.
Can I be an otter? You know what I mean? Like, is that cheating? Is that cheating?
Did you read the question?
Bonus points if we pick an animal.
Did you read the question?
An ocean animal or a land animal.
Right. Say that again.
An ocean animal or a land animal.
Right.
Why can't both? Remember those old commercials for the
Is a
taco
croc-
shells, and it was like soft or crunchy, and the little girl was like, "Why not both?" And then they had a parade.
Crocodiles are not ocean.
They're river.
Right. The question was
Go
ocean
away.
or
We're
land.
podcasting. You wouldn't understand. Joe, we're getting about time to wrap up. Did you have a question that you wanted to hit before we go?
Boy, I would love to, but actually, I do have a question for Steve Jobs. Why?
Hate to break it to you, buddy. Steve Jobs is not going to be hearing your question anytime soon.
I'll go to his grave.
Joe, then I think we're going to send it off on a nice question, a question for the two of us to be genuine with each other for just a moment. Maureen had another question. She said, "What is your favorite thing about each other?"
That's a
So let's
great
end the
question.
show on a nice note
That's a
and
great question.
give each other some nice compliments.
Mine is how supportive and hardworking you are. That's the simple answer, but you're very supportive to my stuff. You're always down to help me out whenever I need help, and you fucking work hard on your own shit. I really fucking appreciate both of those.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I was going to say something very similar. You work very hard and you are very passionate about what you do, and it makes me more motivated and it makes me more passionate and it makes me want to be better at what I do.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I think you are on a creative level, you are an inspiration and a motivation, which I appreciate. And it's fun to kind of have that as a friend. I think you are one of the more honest and genuine and like trustworthy friends that I have, that I know that if I need something, whether that's help with something or just, an ear for listening, something like that, I know I could reach out to Joe and he's going to be there. So as a friend,
that's very sweet.
You're also right there for me.
That's very sweet. Thank you, Alex. And side question, am I the hardest motherfucker you ever met in your life?
The hardest?
Yeah. If the answer is no, I'm about to fucking crank it up.
Like peeing, or like is your cock hard?
No,
or
no.
Like, what do you mean hardest?
Do I work the hardest out of all of us?
Oh, do you work the hardest?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, yeah. I thought you were saying like, oh, am I the hardest?
No.
Joe,
do I hustle the hardest?
You hustle the hardest. Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Good.
Yeah. Like I said, I thought you meant like kind of like a street cred thing. Like,
No!
I'm hard. Well, you got a
Don't give a
grimace
shit
statue,
about that.
dog. You know what I mean? Like,
I got the grimace. I need to know.
I don't know, man.
I need
don't
to know
what kind
that
of
I
street
work
cred.
hardest.
I don't know what kind of street cred Batman action figures get you. But I mean, who am I to talk? I got my apartment's not that much more adult, but it's a vibe.
Alex, well, I appreciate that. This has been fun. Maybe we'll do this again on episode 20.
Ooh, episode 20. Another Friendsgiving of questions and answers. Thank you for sending in questions. We hope you like those answers. Thank you so much for watching the show or listening to the show or doing what you do. We appreciate it. And Joe, 10 episodes down and another couple, maybe we'll get to like, what's the over under, do you think, on the podcast? If I set the over under at like 49 and a half.
Yeah, I quit now.
Do you think we go over or under?
Yeah, I quit now, bro.
Oh shit. All right. Well, thanks for watching. This has been goddamn Joey C. Fun as always, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. This has been great.
We'll see you in the next one.
All right. See you later.